Hey there, people! Welcome back to 26 Ways to Draw a Letter. I'm Lisa, I'm your host, and this entire series is brought to you by Secura. Today we're gonna do R, and hey, you know the drill by now, right? Yeah. So grab some pens, a piece of paper, or print the practice sheet link below, and let's go explore the letter R in 26 different ways. Okay, so as usual, my brothers in arms in this endeavor is the Sakura Pigment Micron size 8 and 10 today. So the letter R is a mix of straight and curvy lines, right? Something like that. And I was thinking that we could make a rather stiff letter here. Or stiff, which is not boring. Boring is the wrong word, but a very serious letter here. But we can make that extra. It's like a huge foot or something that's put in front of the body. And I really, every letter form you do don't have to be original in that sense that it has to be groundbreaking, all new, never done before. It's a perfect good way to start with ordinary letters, and then you just twist some detail that will make a whole new letter with a new personality. So that's one of my tips. Okay, this is a very ordinary R with no straight lines. No, I'm sorry, I'm so tired. With no curvy lines whatsoever. Straight lines only. And I'll just mark the joints here with a little dot. And in the ends too. Okay, so we're doing the opposite now. Almost no straight lines at all. And R all curvy there. Now I'm going to do a block letter with a shade. You've seen that many times before. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to show you how come sign painters particularly always want to add the shade or the shadow on the left side of the letter. So I'm adding the shade on the left side of the letter, and can you see how it's much easier with the letters like K and R and B, for instance, because you're putting the shade on the straight side of the letter. That is easier, and if you're a sign painter, that also means that you will save some paint. So if you want to start adding shade to your letters to create this 3D effect, my tip is to start adding it on the left side of the letter. Okay, so here's a letter built out of some loose parts, 2 straight, a little bit thicker lines, and 1 almost full circle. It all adds up to an R. And you know how I love to do those drops at the end of the line when it's curvy ends. So I'm gonna add them here as well. Could have gone with leaves too. I see that now, but I'm gonna let you off the hook. No leaves, just drop ends. Okay, a squishy, mushy block letter without the harsh, sharp edges coming up. This one also with a foot foot in front of it. And another tip, if you want to create new letter forms, is to like distort or pull or squeeze or whatever the proportions of the letter. So in this case, this letter is kind of low but wide. And here's another bigger block letter with a pointy foot, I think. Yep, there. Pointy, the whole letter is sort of pointing slightly upward. A thick slab serif on a small letter coming up. So slab serifs are these like rectangular serifs that you can see, especially on the feet of this R. I think I'm gonna have to fill this one in. Serifs come in many different shapes and forms, always adding some personality, especially to hand-drawn letters, I will say. Serif, not when made this big and clumsy, but in fonts, serif are actually making the letters easier to read, more legible. So when there's bigger amounts of text, like in a newspaper for instance, it's most common to use a serif font. Not sure that this one is increasing legibility, but I draw serifs because they are fun. I'm thinking like 3 bananas or something. No, not bananas. Thin leaves. I don't know. But anyways, I'm gonna make 3 of them, and they're gonna make up for the letter. They're gonna make the letter R. Building it right there. And the last leaf, banana, whatever, comes there. Right. Okay. Coming back to an ordinary block letter and showing that you don't have to make the letter form itself spectacular, nor do you have to fill it in with patterns or whatever. You can make an ordinary black block letter and give it personality by adding some sort of frame or outline. You'll see. The last part here. So I'm thinking kind of like a lace or a stamp. No, not stamp. More like a lace outline. Switching to the size 8 and making those small bubbles all the way around the letter. Trying to make sure that they don't bump into each other, which is the reason why I should have made the letter a little bit thinner, so I had more negative space in here and between the legs of the letter. But this will have to do. Okay, more distortion of proportion. A huge bubble here. So this is an R with an enormous body, but two very, very small and tiny legs. Speaking of legs, listen, what happens if you make like this is an R? Yes. Or is it like the lower body in like caught from the side with 2 feet and a butt? I don't know. You tell me. Okay, so I'm making now, this is gonna be an R. Playing around with how much you can actually smooth or like straighten parts of a letter without it turning into something completely different. You can see that this is an R if you're willing. Mostly because of the tiny detail that is on the right side of this letter. It could have been like an omega sign or perhaps even an A. If it wasn't for, you know, this little angle right there. That little angle is what makes this letter R. Next one I'm thinking monoline also, but very simple and one go, like up and around and up again. Oops. And another walking R. I could make the R look like it's walking by adding serifs. That will be the feet of the letter. So there's one foot and there's another. Totally looks like it's going places. Okay, so let's make an R out of this square. You've seen me do that before. Just need to point out the negative space. So it's definitely here R and there. So negative space as well. And there. Okay, bubbly R. Boarding on an A again. Really didn't think about that fact that R and A are so similar. I can see that now. So here's another R. That's almost an A. This one is with a shade, though. So this will be a 2-line letter. With a longer, like swooshy. I'm not gonna do. I'm gonna have to do this one below. So stupid that I actually crossed the lines here. Shouldn't have done that because I didn't let the lines cross anywhere else on this letter. Oh well, let's proceed. Spooky, weird looking R. This is like the giant, what's it called? A giant snowman? No, what's it, like some kind of snow monster. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna doodle something that people will say is not an R, but you know that it is, and you will be able to see it. It's just that the other people won't. We don't care about them. So you see where I'm going? This is I'm doing a tree. Like that. And we are also making a ladder to this tree. And people, what do we have here now? Obviously, it's an R. Yeah. So here's a thick stem. And a much thinner front. So the back is thick and the front is, let's see, there, yeah, a bit smaller. Gonna try and keep challenging your eye and your perception of what a letter can look like. So this, I'm using the size 8 for this. This is like a brick kind of, or I'm not doing books because they are not lying like right on top of each other. There's some space between everyone, so we can pretend it's bricks or something, whatever. And they will make an R like that. This one goes a little bit further out and then back into the stem. And there's the leg or the foot or whatever you want to call it going out here. There. Okay, 2 more to go. Now I want to make an R that is leaning very much forward, almost like it's tripping, like it's falling. Like that. Perhaps you can't see how much it's leaning, it's because the angle of the camera, but if you compare them to the other letters, I'm sure you'll be able to see the difference. Anyway, so I'm actually gonna, so the light will shine from above and to the right on this letter. Or no, it's shining from below to the right. See that now? There. And the last one I'm gonna fill with tangled, I don't know, yarn or whatever. So this is the perfect way to show you that it's not the letter form that gives the letter its personality and its edge. It can also be what you fill the letter up with. In this case, a lot of tangled yarn. I think it's yarn. Make me think of knitting, which I totally should do. How come I don't knit? Anyways, this is the 26th R on this page. So there you are, 26 different letters. I'll come back next time.